Today I'm joined by Penny Brenden, founder of Call Girl for Hire and a true believer that real conversations still matter. In a world dominated by automation and inbox overload, Penny built a business by doing what many won't, picking up the phone and creating genuine human connection. Known for her warmth, energy, and exceptional ability to turn conversations into relationships, Penny has helped countless businesses build trust, confidence, and real momentum through meaningful outreach. At her core, Penny's mission is simple but powerful. Bring the human voice back into business, one phone call at a time. Thank you so much for being here.
You are welcome.
You are one of my all-time favorite people, so thank you.
Okay,
Penny, when you first started Call Girl for Hire, what did the actual business look like day to day?
You know, it was interesting because when I first started my business, like the first couple of weeks, everybody shut me down.
Wow.
Because Call Girl for Hire, hello. So everybody thought that it was, exactly. Everybody thought that I was like literally, I was doing sex and that was not it. So I had to actually call up, Stripe, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything, all of it. It was, but you know what, I got it going. But after, I would say the beginning stages of it was just me making all the phone calls and had to get, the way that this happened was like on a Friday, my really good friend Cheryl called me up and said, Penny, you just got laid off for the third time in 5 years, but I have the perfect name for your new business. And I'm like, I don't have a business. What are you talking about? And so she said, Call Girl for Hire. And then by the following week, I went to 3 different networking events. Mm-hmm. All I had was a sheet, a flyer that my niece made me. I went to these networking events and I held up a handheld phone. So for people who don't know what a receiver of a phone is, I was like, ooh, does looking at this make your heart beat faster and your palms sweat? and I got 4 new clients that first week. So wow. I wasn't even sure if it was going to work.
Wow.
But because it did, then that's how it all kind of started.
Wow.
And then I got like a landing page and I made business cards, and that was all I did for probably the first 4 months.
Wow.
And then I started getting more and more clients. And now I've got a call girl and a stud and moving and shaking.
I love on your website. You've got like the one night stand and you've got the red light district. It is so clever and so funny, and I love it because it is attention grabbing. I had a friend call it you'll stop scrolling for something like that, right? It catches people's attention. So I think it's genius. Was there a moment where you realized that this actually is going to work because it's human and it's not automated?
Absolutely. So one of the many things about in all of the businesses that I have done or had, I really, I hate automation. I hate and I love AI. I think that there's a big place for AI. Not really a fan of the receptionist being an AI, but people do it, and I think that it works for some businesses. And then the auto dialers and all of that, I think that people know when it clicks that it's an auto dialer and they hang up. And I feel like I think that it works because it's that human touch. And we're creating relationships. We're not just, we're not just dialing for dollars. I used to call it dialing for dollars years ago, like 40 years ago when I was in sales. And there is a time and place for dialing for dollars, of course. But yeah.
That's very cool. I could not agree more with you, because when we get sales calls all day long, right? We're always getting spammed, and it's an automation. It's like I'm hanging up immediately. But when it's a person on the other end, even though I know it's sales, I'm probably still going to interact with them in some shape or form. I still might say no, but I'm not just going to immediately hang up on them. They're not a robot. And I think with everything being so automated, we seriously crave the connection, the human connection. So I think what you're doing is wonderful, and I can attest to that. Penny actually helped me, and at an event, she helped us call sponsors and helped us call and get invites in, and was a huge part of helping us build our events. So what you're doing is wonderful. Like it works. It's awesome. What skill did you rely on the most that I would say that people would underestimate that allowed you to scale your business?
I feel like the answer to that would be I just did it. And I just had this conversation this morning with someone that action, just doing it. It's the action. It's I got a list and had to make those phone calls. So every list that I have, I'm just making those phone calls. And so and instead of thinking about it, which is what 99.9% of the people out there do, is they think about it too much instead of just taking it, getting organized, and just doing action. Action speaks louder than words.
Oh, I could not agree more. The action is so important, right? It's the consistency and the forward action and just doing it. It's the getting out of your own way, just putting it forward. It's so interesting because it really is what people struggle with, right? They say 80% of people aren't going to actually take the leap of faith to actually do the thing. They're just going to sit and think about it or get ready to get ready. You're always just getting ready to get ready, and you're never actually taking or executing anything. And then there's so much regret in that.
Well, because fear, from the fear, you paralyze yourself. And when you paralyze yourself, you do nothing. And then like you said, then you feel guilty the next day. Damn, I didn't, I didn't do what I said I was going to do, or I didn't do what I thought I was going to do, or whatever. And
then the pressure of I was supposed to make 10 calls yesterday, and now I have to do 10 calls. It means I have to do 20 calls, and then that's even scarier than doing the 10 calls. And then you procrastinate another day because you're scared, and then it's 30 calls, and then now you do no calls. It is really just the action, getting out of your own way and just actually doing it. As your visibility and responsibility grew, what belief about yourself had to change so you could grow?
That's an interesting question because I've been working really, really hard. I've actually had 3 different businesses. And when I got divorced and then got laid off 3 times in 5 years and then started this business, really and truly it had more to do with knowing that I can do it and understanding that, because I've been teaching cold calling and follow-up classes for 4 decades, like since my 20s. And I know I don't look that old, but I am.
You don't. You don't look a day over 21.
Anyway, I believe that it is the hugest thing for people that are in business for themselves or business period that they have to overcome is making phone calls. And so I have always believed that I'm really a good teacher, that I can teach people how to do that. But even more importantly, if you don't want to do it, then allow for someone that knows what they're doing to do it for them. My belief then is that I really can grow this business because people really need it and they will value it. Because it's the worthiness and the value of what it is that you are doing and who it is that you are. That's hard. It's hard to believe that, you have to get rid of all of the mean boys and girls in your head and move forward. And, it's a lifelong gig there, but getting through it.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that you said the mean boys and girls in your head. Have you ever read the book, The Untethered Soul?
Oh, yes.
It's a good one, right? It taught me that if I wouldn't be friends with the voice in my head, I shouldn't even be listening to her.
Yeah.
Because she's a bitch.
Yeah.
And why is she always telling me I'm not good enough, right? And so isn't that so true, right? Because we all suffer with that.
We do.
And we all will just feed into it and assume that that's our voice. No, that's not. That's just a mean girl. I call her Becky the bitch.
Yeah.
Becky the bitch needs to stop immediately. I don't listen to her.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
Exactly, right? What's a mistake that shaped how you lead and communicate today?
I think that it kind of ties back to the last question of just not believing that I can do it. And I've had 3 different businesses, and so why on earth I would think that that this one wouldn't work, and especially because it's different than really anything else out there. And I feel like just believing.
It is interesting too, like you were called to it, you knew it was right, it was
Yes.
kind of working, and the insecurities you deal with, A, as a woman, but B, also the first year of just entrepreneurship anyhow,
Yes.
it is an insane amount of insecurity that we struggle with, and the unknown, and the I'm not good enough, and the, voices in our head that are
Yes.
telling us that you're not enough. But it's crazy how that fear also, again, you had 3 businesses, like you had built up other businesses, why would this one have not done well? But the weird insecurity that you felt, and then the belief system that you have to really work hard on every day. At least I think it's an everyday struggle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and then on the other side of that too, I had many naysayers that were like, call girl for hire, you are flipping crazy, girl. Like, you are not going to be able to, get into big companies. You're not going to be, and you know what? I mean, well, watch me.
Yes, I know. The best advice I got growing up was the best kind of revenge is just success.
Yes.
And so and one of the gals and I were talking about it earlier tonight, but she, I am successful like in spite of you. And it's so amazing for all the naysayers and all the people who said it's not enough. But what's interesting is that comes from a place of their own insecurities because they aren't capable.
Yep.
They would not have been able to do it.
No.
And so they say, you can't do it.
Right.
And then if you believe that, right, if you would have just stayed in that box that they put you in and you said, okay, I guess I can't, you wouldn't have this amazing business helping so many people because this is wonderful what you're doing.
Absolutely. And the other thing too that's so interesting about that is that when you listen to all of those people, then they're keeping you where they want to keep you.
Yes.
And when you say, no, I'm not going to do that anymore, and you get out of that, then they're like, oh, well, who does she think she is? And then you get the negative, well, look, who does she think she is?
Yeah, she's
because
changed. She thinks
changed
she's too
so
good
much.
for
Yes.
us. Yes. And
Oh
they were
my
the same
gosh.
people telling you that you
Yes.
couldn't do it, or the same people who said, you think you're too good for us now because now you're successful in it.
Yes.
It's really interesting. But people who are not at your level or who are like at a level, they're stuck at a level beneath you,
Yes.
are always going to try to pull you down.
Yes.
But people who are at levels above you or at your level, they're always trying to put a hand out to help you up.
Yes.
It's really powerful to envision that because that's what it is. It's like, you're stuck. I don't want to be stuck here. And you don't get to pull me down, but that's what they do, unfortunately. And
Well, because they don't know any better.
correct.
And they don't know how to.
Well, and when
it's
you're
too
successful-
afraid. They're too afraid.
Yes, and when you're succeeding in something
Yes.
that they thought you couldn't do,
Yes.
it forces them to either A, hate you, or B, hold themselves accountable for what they're not doing. So it's easier just to be mad at you and you've changed.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you were successful. Because now I have to accept the fact that I'm not doing anything and I watched you do it.
Yep.
Right? It's
Exactly.
really interesting. It's hard. But those are in my keynote earlier, I was saying the distance is power. I just need to love you
Yes.
from over here because
Yep.
I do not need permission to outgrow this room. I don't need permission to outgrow this person. We're no longer like, this not love. That's not love. It's really hard to deal with that too, especially when you love them and love is not reciprocated.
It's not being reciprocated, yeah, because that has happened to me several times in my life, and and it's
so many of
okay.
us.
It's
Oh,
okay.
it is. It's again, we just sometimes outgrow people.
Yep.
I always like to say too, sometimes when I realize that my values and someone else's values are not in alignment, or our goals are not in alignment, because the proximity to the right people matters, or the wrong people, it can impact you.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it doesn't make me right. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make me wrong or them right. It just makes us different. And I just have to distance myself a bit. Like, we just have different values or different ambitions. And I want to be surrounded by people who share values. And I want to be surrounded by people who share ambition, because that's what inspires me to continue to grow. Otherwise, you stay complacent.
Yes, and isn't that a wonderful thing to be able to come to that? And you're way younger than I am, but I mean, isn't that just a wonderful thing to be able to come to that realization and understand that it's okay.
To like give yourself the
totally
permission
okay.
and not
Yes.
feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
so many of us will feel guilty about it, again, because then we're being told that I've changed or I'm stuck up. Or
Well, and it's that thing just pulling you back
Correct.
down.
Correct.
pulling you
That's
back
the
down.
intention, right?
Yeah.
Is no, stay where I want you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
like you. I don't like you up there.
Yes. Yeah, you have to stay here because every Saturday we got together, and
Yeah.
now you're doing something different.
The invisible contract, right?
Yes,
The invisible
totally.
contract of I owe you.
Yes.
Because I've known you for a long time, and we've been
Yes.
through a lot together,
Yeah.
but you're trying to pull me down with you, and I don't want to be there. And that's a weird guilt thing that we deal with. Is I don't know if men go through it, but I know women do. The guilt of I have outgrown this person, I have outgrown this room, and not feeling shame in that, not feeling guilt in that, and not associating that with being too good for them, because that's not what it is.
It's not.
It's just we're different now.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's really tough. What's one thing that you unapologetically prioritize now that younger you didn't?
Some semblance of balance. And I say that like that because you can't just say balance, because they're really never, in my opinion, when you're an entrepreneur, you're never balanced. You either your private life takes over or your business life takes over. So, right now I feel like, because I've only been in business for almost 2 years, that I've been I've dove into like just creating all of the things that I needed to create for my business. But, I think that when I just am more calm and more mellow, and I don't, like, I went on a girls' trip in October and I brought my computer, but I literally was so proud of myself. I only worked like maybe max for the entire 9 days I was gone. I only worked maybe one whole day.
That's amazing.
In like increments.
That's hard to do as a business owner too.
Hard as could be.
Because when you're taking time off, you're losing money, right? That's the association is.
Well, but I do have one call girl that's working for me.
See, but that's why you were able to do it, though.
Totally. It's totally and absolutely why I was able to do it.
A part of the balance, right?
Yep, it is
I think
part
it
of the
gets really scary. I was talking about this earlier today, it's really scary to hire once you get to a certain point, because you're giving away money, but you're buying yourself balance.
Yes.
You're buying yourself some time. And to your point about there's never really balance. I use the analogy of there's like life and family glass balls and plastic balls that I'm juggling. And then there's work glass balls and plastic balls. And so sometimes I have to drop a family plastic ball for a work glass ball. I have to save the glass ball. But sometimes a work plastic ball has to drop because I have to save a glass ball for the family, right?
Yep.
And so it's constantly that juggle.
I like that
Which
analogy.
it's nice
like
to
that.
put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of see it. You're like, oh yeah, I don't drop those balls personally, but these ones I can't drop in the work for those. And it's just nice to kind of understand that there is never really any true balance,
Right.
but there is a sense of being able to kind of choose that I needed this vacation, and I have somebody who I'm paying to do it, and I'm buying myself time and balance back to some extent. It's
Because when I was younger, that was not the case. I mean, I was just balls to the wall with everything that I did. I mean, it didn't matter. But now I am older and wiser, I would like to think.
That's right. Wiser. We are. We are. If you could talk to the Penny who's just starting out, what would you tell her to not worry about?
I would say that the business is going to come because it's something that is so needed, and to not be fearful, because I believe that when you throw fear out into the universe, that's what comes, whatever you're throwing out into the universe, or whatever you believe, God, whatever. I believe in all of it, but it whatever it is, it comes back. And so if you are fearful and you don't, and it's not even necessarily, I don't think, being confident, because I don't think that that's it. I think it has more to do with knowing who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing, and that there's value there. And the more that you feel like the value is going to be appreciated, and the people that you want to bring into that business are the people who are going to value it, are going to pay for it, are going to not, are going to be the good people. And
I love that.
at the very beginning, you go, oh my God, I'll take whatever, because
Desperate.
You got that commission breath.
Commission breath, yes.
But when I used to sell cars, that's what we used to say.
It is commission breath.
Yeah.
It's the ugly car salesman
Yes,
mentality,
it
right?
is.
It's like, gross, get away from me. You're breathing all over me. I love it.
yeah,
I love
that's
I think it is true. It's like you said, that's kind of the fear. You got to kind of put the fear aside. I I love saying and reminding myself that fear and faith are always, they're both invisible.
Yes.
And so if I'm going to give power to one, I just give power to the other as well. And then, like you said, it's not confidence at first. Confidence comes later.
Yeah.
And that's weird too, because a lot of people assume that we all start our businesses really confident, and
Yeah.
we don't. We're just like, I'm going to do it scared anyways.
Yes.
And I'm going to do it uncertain. I'm going to do it with only half a plan, and I'm going to see how it goes, right? You said it, you had a flyer that your niece made.
I had a quarter of a plan and a flyer. That was it.
Yeah, that your niece made, right? And you're like, I hope I
Yes.
get, and you got 4 clients.
Yeah.
Like, that's phenomenal, but that's what it takes, is just doing it scared anyways.
Yes.
Because confidence comes way down the road when you're looking back and reflecting and you go, oh, I actually have made it. I actually did what I said I was gonna do. That's when confidence kicks in.
Yep.
We just do it scared. All right, Penny, thank you so much for being here today. This was such an honor. Where can people find you and learn more about Call Girl for Hire?
You know, they can go to my website. It's callgirlforhire.com. And or you can email Penny at callgirlforhire, and that's FOR, not the number, forhire.com. And would love to talk to anybody that is interested in just chatting about phone calls
I
or
love
whatever.
it. Thank you for joining us at The Ripple Effect. I can't wait to see you next time.
Thank you.